Imagine a pickup truck that delivers the brute strength of a diesel engine, the efficiency of a hybrid, and the reliability of a Toyota. Sound like science fiction, right? Well, Toyota just turned that fantasy into a full-scale industrial threat, and Ford, Nissan, and BYD should be terrified. Because this new diesel hybrid pickup isn't just here to compete. It's here to humiliate the Ford Ranger, outlast the Nissan Navara, and embarrass the BYD Shark. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Toyota just shook the entire pickup industry. While other automakers were busy pushing full EV trucks with limited range and sky-high prices, Toyota quietly perfected something smarter, a diesel hybrid system that delivers the torque of AV6, the fuel savings of a Prius, and the range of a long-haul truck. Reports suggest this hybrid system will cut fuel consumption by up to 30%, while delivering significantly higher towing power than the Ford Ranger's 2.0-liter diesel. Ford and BYD love selling lifestyle trucks in glossy ads. Toyota? They test theirs in the Australian outback and the African savanna. This new diesel hybrid pickup is engineered to survive where roads don't even exist, with heavy-duty ladder-frame chassis, upgraded suspension built for overlanding, dust-proof hybrid components for extreme conditions. Toyota didn't just build a truck. They built a survival machine. Toyota's new diesel hybrid promises to outperform all three, without compromise. You'll get power when you need it, efficiency when you want it, and Toyota reliability, always. Insiders say Toyota plans to launch this model first in Southeast Asia and Australia, two of the most competitive pickup markets on Earth. If it dominates there, the rest of the world is next. And if Ford and Nissan don't respond fast, they'll be reduced to spectators at their own funeral. Is Toyota's diesel hybrid pickup the perfect middle ground between traditional power and futuristic efficiency? Or should automakers go all in on electric? But let's not stop there, because what makes this Toyota even more dangerous to the competition isn't just its engineering, it's the psychology behind it. Toyota understands something that Ford, Nissan, and BYD seem to have forgotten. Pickup owners don't want to be beta testers. They want certainty. They want a truck that starts every morning without drama, pulls its weight without complaining, and doesn't require a degree in software engineering to operate. The electric pickup revolution may be exciting, but the world isn't ready for a truck that dies in the middle of nowhere just because the charging station 200 kilometers ago was out of order. Toyota's hybrid diesel solution is brilliant not because it's futuristic, but because it's practical. And that practicality is going to win, especially in developing regions, work sites, rural communities, and adventure markets. Think about farmers in South Africa, miners in Australia, overlanders in Thailand, or contractors in South America. These people don't care about 0 to 60 acceleration figures or touchscreen animations. They care about range, torque, repairability, and fuel efficiency. If Toyota really delivers a hybrid pickup that can get 1,000 kilometers on a single tank, while still pulling 3.5 tons with ease, then Ford and BYD aren't just competing. They're already losing. Now, let's talk about price, because this is where Toyota might pull its deadliest move yet. Unlike Ford and BYD, who price their high-tech trucks like luxury toys, Toyota is known for launching products strategically affordable. If this new diesel hybrid lands in the market even slightly below the Ranger Wildtrak or BYD Shark DMI, with better fuel economy and lower long-term running costs, then Toyota doesn't just win, it monopolizes. But here's the question nobody is asking. What happens when Toyota brings this hybrid tech to the Hilux? Because if that happens, it's over. The Hilux is already the most feared, respected, and iconic pickup on the planet, banned by warlords and worshipped by civilians. Imagine that truck with hybrid torque, unbeatable range, and Toyota durability. That's not a vehicle. That's a geopolitical asset. Ford may have legacy. Nissan may have loyalty. BYD may have hype. But Toyota? Toyota has momentum. And momentum, when paired with intelligent engineering, becomes inevitable domination. Because let's be honest, a truck's true worth isn't proven in brochures or press events. It's tested in the real world, under pressure, under load, and often under harsh, unforgiving conditions. And this is exactly where Toyota's diesel hybrid monster could truly separate itself from the pack. Picture this: a remote construction site, miles away from civilization. The Ford Ranger owner is worried about fuel costs. The BYD Shark driver is nervously watching his battery percentage drop. And the Toyota hybrid owner? He's working all day without compromise. Thanks to its regenerative braking and intelligent hybrid management system, every downhill drive, every slow crawl through mud, every moment of engine idling recovers energy instead of wasting it. This isn't just efficiency, it's survivability. Now imagine search and rescue operations in disaster zones. Flooded areas, collapsed bridges, no charging stations in sight. Will authorities send electric trucks that depend on grid infrastructure? Of course not. They'll choose a vehicle that can run endlessly, refuel anywhere, and operate equipment on board using hybrid-generated power. That's Toyota's battlefield. And then there's overlanding and expedition travel, the fastest-growing pickup lifestyle trend in the world. While most electric trucks can barely leave paved roads without massive planning, Toyota's diesel hybrid could become the ultimate adventure platform. Long-range, solar-compatible, generator-capable, and mechanically robust enough to be repaired with basic tools in the middle of nowhere. Try doing that with a BYD Shark that needs diagnostic software to open the hood. But perhaps the most devastating blow to the competition will be fleet operators. Governments, military logistics units, mining companies, and utility services. The people who don't buy one truck, but hundreds at a time. These buyers think in spreadsheets, not in fanboy loyalty. They calculate lifetime costs, service intervals, and uptime reliability. If Toyota proves that this hybrid system can reduce operational fuel costs by even 10 to 15% across an entire fleet, that's billions saved. And you don't just win sales, you lock entire industries into your ecosystem for decades. Because here's the uncomfortable truth Ford, Nissan, and BYD don't want to admit. They can't strike back quickly. Toyota didn't just design a pickup. It engineered a corner trap, one that its rivals will struggle to escape. Ford is heavily invested in full electrification. They poured billions into EV platforms like the F-150 Lightning and Ranger PHEV variants. To suddenly pivot back toward hybrid diesel technology would be an admission of strategic miscalculation. That's not just a technical hurdle. It's a public relations disaster. Nissan, on the other hand, suffers from aging platforms. The Navara is beloved, yes, but its chassis and powertrain architecture weren't designed with hybridization in mind. Retrofitting high-voltage systems into an old ladder frame isn't as simple as bolting on a battery. It requires complete structural re-engineering, which means years before a response model is ready. And BYD? Sure, they're fast movers in electrification. But let's be honest, trust takes time. Diesel hybrid buyers are often conservative, mechanical purists. They're not handing over their livelihoods to a company known more for smartphones and electric buses than rugged field-tested reliability. Until BYD survives a decade of abuse in the Australian outback, South American mines, and Middle Eastern deserts, they're not equals. They're visitors in Toyota territory. If this truck launches successfully, it won't just dominate markets. It will force a global reset in automotive strategy. Governments will rewrite fleet standards. Fuel companies will adjust long-term demand forecasts. Even EV infrastructure plans may be slowed to make room for hybrid support systems. And as for consumers, because maybe that's the real genius of Toyota's strategy. While everyone else rushes blindly toward an all-electric future, Toyota understands that the world doesn't change overnight. Transition isn't a switch, it's a bridge. And this diesel hybrid pickup is that bridge. It gives traditional diesel lovers what they crave: raw torque, audible grunt, long-range confidence, while quietly introducing them to hybrid efficiency without forcing compromise. It's not preaching about saving the planet. It's simply saying, here's more power for less fuel. Take it or leave it. And that's why people will take it. But Toyota won't stop there. Insiders suggest a hybrid system will be fully modular, meaning it can be installed across multiple platforms: Hilux, Tacoma, Land Cruiser 70 Series, even commercial vans. This isn't one truck. This is a domino effect waiting to happen. One success could trigger a wave of hybrid dominance across every category, from work trucks to military transports. So let's ask the burning question. What happens to resale values when this new hybrid hits the market? Ford Ranger owners could wake up one day to find their trucks worth thousands less overnight. BYD Shark buyers, already taking a gamble on a newcomer, might suddenly find themselves holding a novelty item instead of a long-term machine. Meanwhile, Toyota buyers, they'll be playing it safe while winning big. And make no mistake, Toyota doesn't just build vehicles, it builds legacies. Look at the Hilux from the 1980s, still running in African villages. Look at Land Cruisers from the 1990s, still operating in war zones. Now imagine a hybrid version of those, quietly regenerating energy while traversing deserts and jungles. That's not just transportation. That's generational power. And that's exactly why this truck isn't just a new release. It's a warning shot. Because when a vehicle becomes too reliable, too efficient, too economically unbeatable, it doesn't just win customers, it reshapes industries. Dealerships will start prioritizing hybrid inventory. Governments will revise incentives. Rural communities and commercial operators will form waiting lists before launch. Suddenly, everyone else is no longer competing for dominance. They're competing for relevance. Ford, Nissan, BYD, they all have two choices now: adapt or become background noise. And the most devastating part? Toyota doesn't even have to rush. They know their influence. They know their legacy. They know that once this hybrid hits the streets, construction sites will trust it, farmers will swear by it, off-roaders will evangelize it, and entire nations will standardize around it. Because this truck doesn't ask you to change your lifestyle. It simply makes your lifestyle cheaper, stronger, and more future-proof. No compromises, no sacrifices, no learning curves. Just evolution on your terms. And that's why this diesel hybrid isn't just an upgrade, it's a philosophical revolution. It doesn't scream, "The future is coming." It whispers confidently, "The future is already here." And it still runs on diesel with a hybrid heart. So here's the reality. In a world obsessed with flashy tech and futuristic promises, Toyota chose a different path, not hype, but inevitability. While others gamble on uncertain infrastructure and untested concepts, Toyota studied the landscape, listened to the real-world needs of workers, explorers, and everyday drivers, and delivered a truck that doesn't ask for faith. It earns it. This diesel hybrid pickup isn't just a competitor. It's a silent takeover. A machine engineered not for headlines, but for history. Because 10 years from now, when most EV experiments have faded, when early adopters have cycled through 3 generations of battery recalls, this Toyota will still be out there, pulling loads, crossing rivers, climbing mountains, and firing up every morning without complaint. And that, above all, is what makes it dangerous. It won't need to shout. It won't need to convince. It will simply outlast. So to Ford, Nissan, and BYD, consider yourselves warned. A new king is coming. And it doesn't want to compete. It wants to dominate. If you're as excited as I am about this diesel hybrid revolution, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed. Because in my next video, I'll be breaking down exactly how this Toyota stacks up head-to-head against the Ford Ranger and BYD Shark in real-world scenarios. Until then, drive smart, stay unstoppable, and remember, power without endurance is just noise.